Hello everybody, my name is Martin. This is Millionaire Autobahn, how to become a millionaire in 2 years. Sorry I haven't made a video last week due to my COVID. Was in bed and couldn't really do much. Sorry for that. However, everything's fine again. So hope you stay safe out there. And let's dive into it. We all have seen the fall of Ring Financial. I want to talk about that, if that was planned, if it was a rug pull from the start, what really happened, why did it happen. So I don't think that the team who created Ring, that they actually wanted to scam us from the get-go. Because the idea actually behind Ring is not bad. The 2,600% APY is not ludicrously high compared to others. The website itself, the app, they even have a helpline where when you send an email you get automatically a response back that they use this whatever type of system, and they even send you an email back. Even now I just sent an email 2 days ago and got an email back saying yeah, they will have an announcement soon. We can believe that or not. But overall I don't think it was a scam from the beginning. So what happened? I think because they actually wanted to go cross-chain, the whole market got nervous around it. And because of that nervousness, the price starting to fall. And due to that, the selling pressure increased and increased. So at some point I think they just kind of got scared and said, okay, we run away. The only thing I really hold against them is that the site is actually still up. You can still create notes. And the system is still running. I do have one note in there. And I'm one of those people that lost some money with it. I invested about $1,700 into Ring notes. Luckily enough, I got it from another crypto project, so it's not that I took it out of my bank and built it the node. But I'm sure there are other people out there that took thousands and $5,000, $10,000 of dollars and created notes, and it's all gone. The interesting thing is, when creating a node, you actually pay 0.33 BNB. That's about $150 roughly. And people still create notes. Over the last 10 days, between 1,000 and 2,000 notes have been created. That's between $100,000 and $200,000 easily that people spend creating notes, even though it says right there you only make like 50 cents a day. And right now I think it's even less than that. So to me that's kind of weird. I guess that a lot of people still don't understand what they're doing. They're like, oh, I'm doing a node. It's so cheap right now, so let's just do 10 nodes, not seeing that every time you pay a lot of fees. So there's still a lot of education that needs to be done. However, what can we learn from something like this? I think most people that have invested in many different cryptocurrency projects like myself, I have invested so far at least in like 15, 20 different projects. And so far I got lucky that none of them went belly up besides this one now. I also actually invested in Snowbank. They didn't go belly up. They just said, okay, we stop right now and we redo everything, but you actually can get your money back, whatever is the current value. That was nice. What can we do? As always, you have to research. You have to read and read more and research more. Look up all the different videos out there from well-known sources where you can actually see what do they say about it. However, in this case, even they were wrong. Many of those sources I used to watch, or I'm watching, but I used to watch for this particular project. They now have videos out there like, damn, I got scammed. I lost like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, which is a lot of money. So sometimes a project just fails. And as said, in this case, I don't think it was intentional. I think there's actually a bit more behind it. I want to say like something big here and saying, okay, please don't panic. Please don't look at big numbers. please don't invest in just one project. Have all that always in mind. It is still money you're investing. You have to look at the stock market. The stock market matured over time. If you go back like 50 years or so, usually the stock market was kind of out of reach for the average person. It was only high net worth individuals and investment companies that were able to actually buy stocks and trade stocks. Now it's much different. We have apps and everybody can go into it and start buying stocks. Nevertheless, the vast majority of stocks is still in the hands of investment banks and big wealthy corporations, people with a high net worth. So overall, the stock market moves slow. If something goes down, let's say 10% in a day, it usually then goes up again the next day or something. There's not such a panic that there is like in crypto. So why is there such a panic in crypto? My personal opinion is both sides of crypto is still very, very young. The one side is creating those projects. Usually those are people in their 20s. Because the programming language for creating those smart contracts and so on, that is pretty new. That's maybe just like 4, 5, 6 years old. And so it's usually not that there's like, people in their 50s, 60s that actually start creating those projects. It's pretty much mostly young people. They might still be at university, they might be friends at college and stuff like that. So the people who create those projects are young, so are the people on the other side that actually buy into the projects. Most of them are, kind of, let's say, nerds. I am a nerd, so that's fine. And they have not yet really invested a lot, let's say, in the stock market. They have not been there where things go up and down and a bit crazy and markets kind of volatile and whatnot. So when they invest in something like this and all of a sudden something goes down 10%, they're getting scared. They're like, oh shit, and panic. And then they say, oh, I have to sell, otherwise I lose. They're not thinking long term. Like in the stock market where you think, for at least 5, 10 years and longer, you should, even in the crypto market, should think for minimum 1 year to about 2 years. 2 years is already a long time in cryptocurrency, but you still should think about that. Because of that, even if something goes down 90% and you're staking or you have a node or something, you will still make money over the time. So the important thing is don't panic. So coming back to Ring, the problem that we have out there is there's a young team coming up with an idea, they start the project, they release their token to the public. People buy, people sell, and at one time there's its own dynamic. So the team of Ring, they don't have any control over it any longer and the price go down. There's nothing they can do about it really. While they have handled the whole thing poorly, no question about that, they could have done a much better job. They could have still be on Discord and say, look people, we're trying to fix this or whatever. It looks like they just kind of run away and hiding somewhere, I don't know. But overall, it's just because the whole crypto space is still in its infants. And as an infant, they're screaming and panicking and everything. So what you always have to do, and I say this again, and this is not a financial advice from my part, what you always have to do is research. Till you feel comfortable about a project, till you feel comfortable with the people that are involved in this project. I know there's so many new projects coming out every single day, and it's hard to actually stay focused on it, to see, okay, which one is the next good one. But don't get scattered around and go into everything. Be on the safe side. Like for example, a strong block is some sort of a safer bet. An Olympus DAO is some sort of a safer bet. A Time Wonderland is some sort of a safer bet. just because the people involved in those, they're pretty upfront, they know what they're doing, they give you a plan on what they want to do in the future. They also let people help decide if this is good to do in the future and so on. So you have to look into all those things and then diversify. Have at least, let's say, 5 different projects you invest in. Let's say you have a total of $5,000 to invest, split it evenly $1,000 each. Don't look at how much APY this one project does. Like if you look at Templar DAO, for example, which is still doing a whooping 30 million% APY, down from like 100 million, don't look at that number alone. Look at the team, look at what they're doing. And even though that number looks amazing, I personally just invested the other day in Spartacus. That's just 100%. That's pretty much nothing in the crypto world. But I actually do trust that team. They have been around for a bit. Yes, they had their issues, but they kind of fixed it. The price stabilized. So I think it's a good team, and it will have good progress, and eventually the APY will go up again. So as said, always look into everything, not just the APY numbers. Look into the team as much as you can, look at what other people say about the team, about the project, and so on, and diversify. That's very important. So with that said, stay safe out there. Don't get COVID. A friend of mine nearly died from it. He was 5 days in the ICU. I know it has nothing to do with this channel, but I'm just saying, I got lucky. I just was in bed a little bit. But overall, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye.